Hey guys, I hope you're having fun learning at tutorics. In this chapter, we're going to look at how to classify elements and their periodic properties. But before we move on, today we are going to play a small game where I will give you certain hints and you have to guess the element that I'm talking about. Well, all of you must have seen sun, the burning hot sun. Well, have you ever wondered what is the fuel of the sun? What keeps the sun to burn for several billions of years? Well, it's a special element. And this element is present in every star in the universe. And this element is abundant up to 70%. And when this element combines with oxygen, it makes up water, which is the lifeline of Earth. Now, not only that, water is present in our body, and our body is made of 70% of water. That means this element is highly abundant in our body as well. So can you tell me what element I'm talking about? Well, that is hydrogen. Now, the next element is the second most abundant element in the universe. So here we have an airship. Now, airship is not really filled with air, but rather it is filled with a gas. Now this gas is very light than air, and that's why a balloon filled with this gas can float. Now this is not the lightest gas, because lightest gas is hydrogen gas. But there's a problem with hydrogen gas. Well, hydrogen gas can catch fire and explode. That's why we use this gas. Now the special property of this gas is that it is highly inert and does not react at all. Now there's one more interesting property of this element. The liquid form of this element can be used to achieve the lowest temperature on Earth. That is around 10 power minus 7 kelvins, which is 0.000001 Kelvin. Well, that's a very cold temperature. So can you tell me what element am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about helium. Now, the next element is the most important element in all the organic matter. In fact, the same element is present in diamond and graphite. And suppose if I have a sellotape and if I stick to graphite, and then if I ask you to zoom in, what you will see that there is sheets of atoms. And this sheet of atom is called graphene. Well, graphene is a very interesting material. It is flexible and it can conduct. That means in future, it might happen that you have a laptop and you can fold it and then you can carry it in your pocket. Well, all these materials are made of carbon. Now, the next element is the metal. So tell me, what will happen if I drop this metal in this water? As you can see, when I drop this metal in the water, it is still floating. What does that mean? Well, that means that this metal is even lighter than water. Not only that, it is also very reactive. Now because of this property, this metal has become one of the most important part of our life. It is used in the batteries of phone and tablet. So can you tell me which metal am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about lithium. Now the next element is a shiny metal. Not only it's shiny, it is highly unreactive. In fact, it is so stable that it cannot corrode even for hundreds and hundreds of years. That's why this metal is considered very precious. So can you tell me which metal am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about gold. Now, the next element is one of the most unique elements. So here we have a beaker filled with water and beaker filled with this element, which is in the liquid form. So, tell me what do you think will happen if I drop this coin in this water? Well, as you can see, it will obviously sink because solid is more denser than the liquid. Now, watch what will happen if I drop the same coin in this liquid. What do you see? Well, you can see that it is floating. But why is that? Well, that is because this liquid is more denser than the coin itself. Not only that, one more interesting property is that the liquid form of this element can conduct electricity. and it's a shiny liquid. Apart from that, it can also conduct heat. That's why it is used in thermometer. So can you tell me which element am I talking about? Well, obviously I am talking about mercury. Now you might be wondering, why am I talking about all these elements? Well, as you can see, every element has a unique property. And if you want to study them together, we have to remember the property of each and every element. But currently, there are 114 elements. So does that mean we have to remember property of every element separately? Well, don't worry guys. Scientists have already found a way to group these elements based on certain criteria. And they have found a pattern in their chemical properties and physical properties. And that's what we're going to learn in this chapter. For that, stay tuned.